So, as everyone knows, the Houston Rockets missed out on the number one pick to the Detroit Pistons and got the number two overall pick in this draft. After tedious, like about an hour of hard work of changing all the rosters around, I think I finally have the perfect draft. So, everybody's picks belongs to the right people. Today, I will be controlling the Houston Rockets, rebuilding from there. Who will we go with the number two pick? Will it be Suggs, Mobley, or Jalen Green? Find out in this video. Looking forward to it. This time I'm rebuilding the Houston Rockets number two overall pick in the 2021 draft. As you guys can see, somehow they didn't take Cade Cunningham, number one overall for the Detroit Pistons. That doesn't make any sense, but I just did a rebuild with Cade, so I'm not going to be doing it this time, but it does narrow options down to two players. Evan Mobley, who a lot of people consider definitely to be a 1B in this class, like a really, really great player, but not at the level of Cade Cunningham, or Jalen Suggs, who I find quite versatile. And I filmed a podcast the other day, and I said that the ideal fit for the Rockets with the number two pick would actually be Jalen Suggs. But to some people's surprise, I'm going to actually go Evan Mobley here. I'm going to try the Christian Wood Evan Mobley thing and see how that can work. The Rockets have a lot of picks in this draft, so with the first pick, I'll be taking Mobley, and I'll see you guys with what I do with the rest of the draft. So the Rockets didn't have any second round picks. I didn't really know that, but here are the players that we took in this round. Cameron Thomas with somehow 30 total badges, but is a 74. Evan Mobley, who will be starting at center for us this year, and then David Duke, who will probably play our backup point guard behind John Wall. I think it's on the last year of his contract, so I'm looking forward to getting off of his contract. Moving into the team's offers, we're definitely bringing back Jae'Sean Tate. He was all NBA rookie first team this year and is a very key piece moving forward. Avery Bradley, we're not going to bring back. We just picked up a backup shooting guard, so there's no really need to keep him around. And Kyrie Thomas, old Piston draftee, we're also not going to keep him either. Just going to roll with Jae'Sean Tate. As far as the qualifying offers, I don't think I'm going to extend this to anybody. Definitely not keeping the Michigander DJ Wilson on this team. So I'm actually not going to extend the qualifying offer to anybody. We have three new rookies and a couple of veterans that we can play. So we're just going to stick with that. As far as free agents we have is Kelly Olynyk. I would like to bring back Kelly Olynyk, believe it or not. I think that he's a really nice bench piece for what he's expecting. So I'm going to offer him a little bit less than what he wants. I'm going to offer him around this, see if we can get Kelly Olynyk to come back. But besides that, don't have a whole lot of cap space because of that John Wall move. But as you can see, we're not going to bring any of them back. We're going to agree to bring back Kelly Olynyk. We're not going to bring back Sterling Brown, David Nwaba, Avery Bradley, DJ Wilson, Dante Exum, Kyrie Thomas. None of these guys don't really feel the need to bring it back. So we'll see you guys when I get to player progression. Here we are at player progression. As you can see, Christian Wood went down a little bit. That's not good to see. But Kevin Porter Jr., kind of our star that we're going to be building around him, and Evan Mobley, he's going up. John Wall continues to go down. This is the last year of his $44 million contract, I believe. So never mind, has a player option for one more season. I doubt that it's actually realistic to be able to move that contract in real life. Could buy him out, but we'll see what John Wall can do for us for probably the next two seasons. Evan Mobley at an 80 brought back Kelly Olynyk, like I said. Kenyon Martin Jr. continues to get better. Jae'Sean Tate probably starting at the 3 for us. Eric Gordon getting worse and worse. I'm going to try to move that contract. It's a pretty bad one, though, for his overall. Daniel House will continue. And, yeah, so we're just going to round out this rotation. I'll see you guys at training camps. So we're here at training camps, and obviously we're going to be using untapped potentials. That's usually what people do here, and that's usually what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go with Mobley, bring him up to an A. Obviously, Kevin Porter Jr., one of our best players. And then I'm actually going to use one on I'm going to use it on Cameron Thomas. We get all three players up to an A, and then sign some players for the rest of the season, and let's see what our rotation is going to look like for this year. So right now it has us rocking with John Wall at the 1, good with me, Kevin Porter Jr. at the 2, Jae'Sean Tate, Kelly Olynyk. Christian Wood, I'm actually going to change him right now over to a I'm going to change him to a power forward. That ups his overall quite a lot. We have quite a skinny backcourt, or front court. Backcourt, front court, backcourt, front court. Get confused with those sometimes. But Kelly Olynyk's definitely not going to be starting for us. It's definitely going to be Christian Wood. So this is definitely the starting lineup we're going with. It's John Wall, Kevin Porter Jr., Jae'Sean Tate, Wood, Mobley, Olynyk off the bench, Kenyon Martin Jr., Eric Gordon, Daniel House. Actually, we're going to chop Eric Gordon's minutes quite a bit and give a lot of them to David Duke. We're going to up Cameron Thomas's minutes. And we are going to look to trade Eric Gordon for either a draft pick of some sort or a backup wing. This team's actually pretty set on it. I really like the bench for this team, actually. So we're just going to try to trade Eric Gordon to the draft pick. This is going to be our lineup moving forward. I found this trade here from the New Orleans Pelicans that I really like. It's Eric Bledsoe. He's on one more year. It's $18 million. I don't really like his money, but he does have a team option at the end of this year that I will definitely be declining. But Eric Gordon, as you can see, has 2 more years and then has another team option after that. So it's basically just getting off 1 year of the deal, and the Pelicans get a guy who can probably help them compete more now. I didn't see anything that really gave me a lottery pick or anything without taking on a massive contract of my own. So yeah, I feel like it makes the most sense to do Eric Bledsoe. I can control what I want to do with Bledsoe next year, and I'm definitely not bringing him back. So goodbye, Eric Gordon. Hello, Eric Bledsoe, who will also get no minutes on this team. So we actually had a pretty decent rest of the NBA season. We finished 38-44, which isn't that bad. Cade Cunningham is your Rookie of the Year for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Still don't know why the Pistons didn't take him first. Besides that, Suggs also wins Sixth Man of the Year for the Raptors. So the 2 guys that we didn't take, Maxey, Nash. As far as NBA teams, I doubt we see any Houston Rockets on any of these. We do not. NBA defensive teams could see a Mobley. We do not. And then Mobley does make the all-rookie first team along with Jalen Johnson, Jalen Green, and Jalen Suggs. And do we have any rookies on the second team? So no, Cameron Thomas or David Duke don't make either of those. Obviously, we did not make the playoffs. It was pretty close, though. So we'll see where we end up in the lottery. First, let's look at our season stats and player stats. Kevin Porter Jr. averaged a really nice 20. He's an 83 overall now. Pretty decent efficiency, 45. Could do better shooting. And then after that, we saw Christian Wood have really nice points per game. Mobley, really nice. John Wall doing what John Wall needs to do, taking a back seat to our 3 younger guys and kind of letting them play. John Wall, actually really nice year from Kenyon Martin Jr., who will continue to play well. Kenny Olynyk, who's actually kind of underwhelmed me this year. I thought he would shoot a little bit more. Might be his shot tendencies. Cameron Thomas with 8 off the bench as a rookie. Bledsoe played 5 minutes. Jayshawn Tate. And actually kind of sad to see that. I thought he'd be playing more minutes, but Bledsoe had a decent year, but he's definitely not coming back next year. So yeah, let's see who wins the NBA championship in the first year of this rebuild. If the Pistons didn't make the playoffs, so I know I own the Pistons pick, but I'm going to trade it back to them because it doesn't feel fair to have 2 first-round picks possibly. Anybody of name retire? Carmelo. Carmelo makes it. Carmelo's retired. No important league meetings. So yeah, let's see where our ping pong ball falls for the draft lottery. We should have a chance at the number 1 overall pick, but as you can see here with 7 overall, it says Detroit. We're going to have to trade that back, and we're going to have to get that Heat pick back. So yep, we're going to pick 13th. We're not going to take that 7th overall pick because technically we don't own that pick because it's lottery protected, but 2K doesn't know what they're doing. So I'll see you guys at the draft with who I take. I'm going to trade that pick back to the Pistons. We'll have the 13th pick in this draft to see if we can get another impact player, maybe a point guard because David Duke didn't really pan out, or a small forward. So this is the first time me seeing this 2022 draft class, but seeing that Max Christie is the number 2 ranked overall player is actually pretty funny. Alex Antetokounmpo, I believe Marcus Bagley is in this draft, and same with JT Thor. So I'm not going to take either of those guys. I'm really down between Christie because, you know, Michigan State, but he is smaller of a guard. I think it'd be kind of fun. I think Alex Antetokounmpo has the most promise out of the brothers left, besides Giannis. Marcus Bagley is going to get drafted this year, so I'm not going to really take him. So I'm going to go with the slasher, the big man, Alex Antetokounmpo with my pick. He's going to play our small forward. It'll probably still be Jayshawn Tate for a little bit, but I'm curious to see what how he progresses. So yeah, I'm going to keep him, and I believe we have some second-round picks, or the 29th pick this year. Let's see who we have left. Actually, pretty funny name. Okay, so we're going to go Mady Sissoko out of Michigan State, just because I love him, and he's from Michigan State, so it seems like an easy pick for me. So that's going to be my pick with my second first-round pick, Mady Sissoko. I don't see him coming out in real life. He's a pretty raw prospect, but yeah, those are my 2 picks. We only had first-round picks, so I'll take Mady Sissoko. Let's see who some overalls are. Chet Holmgren, an 81. Let's see where we took Antetokounmpo. He's a 73, a little bit lower. Max Christie is a 75. He fell all the way to 21. And we take Mady Sissoko, who's also a 73. So we got a little bit of a couple of promises. Here's Cam Thomas again from LSU. I took the same guy's draft class for I did from 2021 to 2022, so I don't know why the guy would put two different names in it. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I'm just looking forward to when the NBA draft actually comes out, and I'll just download a roster that has the correct players and correct teams on it. I'll obviously be signing both these players moving forward. Our 2 first-round picks, both 73 overall, see how they progress. As far as team options, no duh, John Wall accepted his $44 million, $47 million team option. We're going to bring back Kevin Porter Jr., we're going to bring back Jayshawn Tate, we're going to bring back Kenyon Martin Jr., and we are not bringing back Bledsoe or DJ Augustine. So I already have 11 players on the team, so I'm just going to decline some cap holds, free up some cap space here, but I don't plan on bringing back Bledsoe, Daniel House, or DJ Augustine. I do like what Daniel House does for the Rockets in real life, but I just took a small forward with this first-round pick. After our first year of the rebuild, Christian Wood continues to improve. We did have him do a position change, so that might just be him kind of stalling out. I might send him to potential camp possibly to see if I can get him to be better, but he is a 27-year-old, so that'd be kind of tough. Kevin Porter Jr., 22 overall, continues to get better. Mobley continues to get better. Kenyon Martin Jr. gets better. John Wall is getting worse and worse. We didn't take a point guard in this year's draft, but let's see if Duke got any better. He did not. I might send him to progression camp. Antetokounmpo's already gotten one better, not even playing. Kelly Olynyk continues to get worse. I might trade Kelly Olynyk. I think that he's a nice trade piece, but I just really like Kenyon Martin Jr. off the bench right now. So we'll see. He is kind of on the smaller side, so we might take him to play our backup center, but also did get Mady Sissoko, who I love, so we'll see. So here at the training camps, we're actually going to send big man offense over to Mobley, try to improve his game a little bit. He improves quite a little bit here. And then as far as untapped potential, we're obviously going to go Alex Antetokounmpo, which didn't improve. And then we're actually going to give it to, this is a tough one here. We're going to go Kevin Porter Jr., see if we can get him back up to an A. So those are all of ours. I'll see you guys at what our kind of rotation looks like. While we're here, let's kind of look at some trades for Kelly Olynyk. I think he'd be like a good piece to move on from. See if we can get anything moving forward. Seth Curry, we could get off 1 year of the deal and a second-round pick. Let's see if there's anything else. Kai Jones, that could be actually really nice, but he's making around the same amount of money. He's a really nice player out of Texas who's going to be a rookie in this upcoming draft. Take a Jake Justin Holiday and a 2027 first. That's not very good. So yeah, not a whole lot to go for here. I'm actually going to end up taking Kai Jones just because how young and how promising he is compared to Kelly Olynyk, who's at 31, he's at 21, and I'm just giving up a second round pick in 2024. So I feel like that's a pretty easy trade for me to decide to make. And then as far as coaching, game plan here, be a very similar lineup that it was last year. This will be the last year of John Wall, so say goodbye after this year. Kevin Porter Jr. going to have to sign him to a big contract. Jayshawn Tate will continue to play good minutes for us. Our minutes are really spread out right now. I don't plan on playing Reggie Jackson at all. I don't know why the game got that idea. Mady Sissoko is going to actually kind of ride the bench a little bit this year. So we're going to up the minutes to our bench guys quite a few. We're going to get 28 for Kenyon Martin Jr., who's kind of our sixth man. And we're going to up the minutes for Porter, down him a little bit, actually, for the rest of the guys. Christian Wood needs 30. Give a couple more minutes here to to Evan Mobley, and we're going to down actually the minutes of the guys on our bench. We're going to keep David Duke as the backup point guard, and we're going to sprinkle like these 3 minutes. We're going to give one here, one here, one here. Yeah, Jayshawn Tate's a bit old. I know he's like an All-NBA rookie this year, but he was 25 when he did that, so I don't really know how well he's going to progress. So Antetokounmpo could be stealing his spot sooner than later, but this team's really young. It's really promising, but I don't think we're going to be good again this year, which kind of sucks because I think the Houston Rockets, unlike the Detroit Pistons rebuild that I previously did, this one's going to be a whole lot longer before we actually see some results. So I'll see you guys at the end of the year with what I do. Really like the Kai Jones signing or the trade with him and Kelly Olynyk. So let's see what we can do this year. So if you guys hear any fan back noise, it's because it's goddamn hot up in this room. So the fan might be going, but Luka Doncic wins the MVP. Tyler Bay, Rookie of the Year. Pretty sure he was a rookie this year, unless he just didn't play for 2 straight seasons. Yusuf Nurkic, sixth man for the Bulls. Jonathan Isaac. James Wiseman, most improved. That's a huge improvement for James Wiseman. Let's see if any of our rookies make it on all-rookie first team. Cade's already on all-rookie or all-NBA second team. Don't see very many of our guys up there. Kareem Maine, Chet, Jalen Hardy, Max Christie was actually really good. So we have none of our rookies on there either, which sucks. Would like to see Antetokounmpo. Matty Sissoko hardly even played, so yeah. We did not make the playoffs. Simulate the play. Actually, wait, sorry. I know some people really are interested in the season stats. And there goes the fan. So here are the season stats. I don't know what's happening with as far as like the scoring and why it's so spread out, but Kevin Porter Jr., Cameron Thomas, Evan Mobley, Christian Wood, John Wall had a nice season. Kenyon Martin, really impressed by Alex Antetokounmpo. He played really well. Kai Jones is getting better. Jayshawn Tate, Matty Sissoko hardly played, but he's improving. And David Duke, we might have to move on for him. He was kind of what I thought our future point guard was going to be, but it's not really working out with him, and we're obviously not bringing back John Wall. So we kind of have most of the starting lineup figured out except for him. But, yeah, I might change Cameron Thomas or Kevin Porter to point guard depending on what I think is better at the end of next season. But let's just see who wins the championship this year. We're going to be bad. We're going to be in the draft lottery. So, yeah, let's see what happens. So I'll be picking 6th in this upcoming year's draft. We had like a swap best with the Brooklyn Nets, who I guess I've kind of blown up since then. So we'll have that pick, and we'll also have pick 19 from the Milwaukee Bucks. So we'll see how that goes. Wish it would have fallen more into the top 5. I guarantee you Amoni is number 1 overall in this draft. So we'll see who we can get at 6. Hopefully it's a point guard. We really need one. So let's see how that goes. So with the 6th pick, I said I was going to take a point guard, and I'm going to stick to my word. I'm going to take Dior Johnson. I think he just committed to going to Oregon, so good for him. But there's some other guys up here who I don't really all know that well who is up here. So as far as that, I'm just going to kind of go with my gut, and my gut is telling me that I need a point guard. Chance Westerly, I don't even know who that really is. He could be better. He's actually a year younger. He's got better listed height. You know what? Last second, I'm going to change it to Chance Westry. I don't know who this is. This is 2 years away. He's got more badges than Dior Johnson, and he's taller. So we like a versatile point guard. So we'll take him. Kind of funny. We're going to go Shareek O'Neal here. Just going to take an O'Neal because I think it's cool. 3-and-D guard. So, yeah. Those are our guys for this draft. I don't really care all about the second-round picks that much. We're going to bring back Kenyon Martin Jr. We'll bring back Cam Thomas. And I'm hesitant to bring back David Duke, but I guess I'm going to just because he was a later-round pick. But I really like what I've been getting out of Kenyon Martin Jr. and Cameron Thomas. We're gonna give Kevin Porter Jr. the qualifying offer. I expect to try to bring him back on a massive deal. He's still a really young player. I like what he brings to this team. Christian Wood, he probably doesn't even want to negotiate with me. That contract's actually freaking insane. So we're definitely not bringing back John Wall. We're going to focus on bringing back Kevin Porter Jr. I actually kind of like this contract. It's pretty favorable. Try to get him on a 5th-year deal too. Yeah, so I'm not crazy about Christian Wood's contract for what he's making, to be honest. He'd make this team competitive now, but he's not really improving. So I might try to sign him to like a 2-year team 1-1 to see how he does this year and to see if he comes back. But as far as Jayshawn Tate and John Wall, they're not going to get a contract from me. I'm actually going to bring back Kevin Porter Jr. and Christian Wood. Renounce the rights on John Wall. $71 million cap hold. That's insane. Jayshawn Tate, not bringing him back. None of these guys are just kind of there to fill out the roster, to be honest. Kevin Porter Jr. is probably going to end up taking this. Yep. So Kevin Porter Jr. takes this qualifying offer, which actually gives us a lot of flexibility to do something big here in free agency. And I kind of like DeAndre Hunter out of from Atlanta. I might try to steal him, bring him in, and to play the 3 because I'm not really ready. Yep. So DeAndre Hunter is going to be our 3 moving forward. I really like this pickup. We'll see what Christian Wood can give us this season, and then we also have a team option to decide if we want to bring him back. So I like that. So we're going to sign him, and then besides that, we're pretty set. Go to player progression, find out how we did. But yeah, I really like that offseason for us. Mobley continues to be our best overall player. This is what I mean for Christian Wood. He's starting to digress, or he's not even getting better. DeAndre Hunter, still a young player, good defensive wing. Kevin Porter Jr., Kenyon Martin gets better. Kai Jones, Matty Sissoko continues to climb the ranks. Cameron Thomas is kind of stalled a little bit. Alex Antetokounmpo. And one of these 2 point guards, it's probably going to be Chance Westry, and I think I'm probably giving up on David Duke, to be honest. The guys that I don't really see playing is obviously Duke, and I kind of got to pick right now if I want either Madi Sissoko moving forward or Kai Jones. Kai Jones does have more money, so we'll see if we can get like a point guard out of this. Yeah, Bogdanovich not really feeling it. Tyrell Terry, good point guard, kind of ish. Corey Kispert and Joe Harris, that could add a lot of shooting, but it wants a first. Aaron Gordon, Boucher. What's this Marcus Morris contract look like? Is this his last season? Yeah. Do I really feel like Duke moving on? All right, so this is kind of my decision that I'm deciding to make is I'm going to go for Tyrell Terry at the point guard this year. Really liked him out of Stanford. Really think he's a good player. And I'm going to go with Mady Sissoko as the backup center just because, you know, Michigan State, he's a little bit I like the Tyrell Terry upgrade, and I think this starting lineup is really good. It's really young, but then Kenyon Martin Jr., Cameron Thomas, Sissoko, and yeah, we're not even going to look at Marcus Morris to play him minutes. He's just was there to get Tyrell Terry and to make the contracts work. But no, I feel like this worked out for the best. I think this might be the year we finally make the playoffs. We'll see. So I'll see you guys when I know if I make the playoffs or not. We got to do something to get better. Just feel like this has been a 38 minutes so far of missing the playoffs. So let's see if we can finally make the playoffs for the first time. At the end of year 3 of this rebuild so far, I feel like we're the Sacramento Kings now. Like we're just stuck in like purgatory. But we couldn't hit on any of the big rookies last year. I don't think we really even made the playoffs. Let me look through these. Cade. Like, I just didn't want to take him because, you know, I felt like it was, like, unrealistic at that point. Nico Mannion, was he just, like, not playing for 3 years? Dior Johnson ended up being really good, and I passed on him over a different guy. Cassius Winston's at 84? What? Okay, well, this is obviously messed up. But, yeah, we continue to be bad. I'm not even going to look at the stats this year. You know what? Yeah, I'll look at the freaking player stats. Mobley, best player. Kevin Porter Jr., I don't even know if he's worth it. So we might try to side somebody different than Kevin Porter Jr. this offseason. I think we might also have to give Mobley a contract. Tyrell Terry's up. All these guys. So Hunter didn't score the way I wanted him to. Christian Wood, I don't think we're bringing him back. This team's going to look drastically different, and I'm going to look to change things around. I might bring back Christian Wood just to trade him. We'll see what it looks like in the offseason. So the picks are all over the place from, like, the previous trades, but I guess we have the 25th and the 4th pick. I told you guys I'm going to start doing auto-generated draft classes, so none of these guys will look familiar, like, at all. Let's see what happens when I try to trade our 4th and 25th overall pick. See what we can get out of this. Jokic and Kendrick. Bam Adebayo might not be a bad idea. Might try to run with him and Mobley at the same time. The 5th overall pick in Dylan Brooks. Jonathan Isaac. De'Aaron Fox. That's actually pretty nice. Fred VanVleet, Gobert. Okay, these are all auto-generated players, and I'm just tired of this team losing over and over again. So I'm going to bring in Bam Adebayo on this hefty-ass contract to get rid of these 2 picks and a second-rounder. Seems pretty easy to me. I'm really happy with that. It looks like I don't have any other picks, but if my pick for the draft is Bam Adebayo to put next to Evan Mobley, I'm pretty happy with it. Rookie signings, didn't have any. Team options. We're bringing back Mobley. We're bringing back all these guys. I have a lot of guys on really good contracts. I'm not bringing back Christian Wood. Mobley is about to slide in and play the power forward, or Bam is, depending on who gets a better overall bump. So, yeah, that's my decision as far as that. And I don't even know if I'm going to bring back Kevin Porter Jr. I'd like to bring on Kenyon Martin Jr., to be honest. But a lot of really good players in this draft. I'm going to take my shot at Devin Booker. I can't afford to give him money. What? It's probably because I have all these cap holds on these different players, and I have to decide what I want to do. I have 8 players so far. I don't know who will be there at the end of moratorium. I could try to no. Killian Hayes, no. Cat, Jaylen Brown, possibly. James Harden is getting old. Let's see what happens when I renounce some rights first. Christian Wood, obviously. Marcus Morris. The cap holds for those guys aren't that big. It's the one that's Christian Wood that's really holding it back. So, yeah, I doubt that these guys are still on the board after moratorium's over. Yeah, see, we don't have a whole lot of options there. So now I'm just going to have to go crawling back on my hands and knees to Kevin Porter Jr., which I'm okay with. Kenyon Martin Jr., I'm okay with it. And Tyrell Terry, I'm okay with it. So we'll see who we get. We get Kevin Porter Jr. to come back. We get Tyrell Terry to come back. And we get Kenyon Martin Jr. to come back. So we make a big move. We trade for Bam Adebayo for some picks. Bless you. Bless me. So, yeah, we don't really have any other money besides that, which kind of sucks. But we're going to change either Evan Mobley or Bam to power forward and see which one's better. As far as three-point shooting, Mobley's better, so it might work better for spacing. So, yeah, I think Mobley will probably end up being the power forward. And I do like this team. We just can't win. So, player progression, training camps, probably send Mobley to three-point shooting, auto-generate another draft class. So, I'm going to send perimeter shooting, actually, to DeAndre Hunter, who's really good. We're going to send perimeter shooting to Mobley, who continues to get better. And we're going to do an untapped potential on Alex Antetokounmpo's not really getting better. Cam Westry, he improved. So we made a big move. So let's go to roster real quick. Let's do an edit. So if we change Bam to a power forward, he's a 90. And if we change Mobley to a power forward, he's a 90. You know what? I'm going to stick with Bam at center. He's a little bit heftier, can guard the bigs more down low. Mobley's a little bit faster, and he's a better three-point shooter. So, yeah, that's my decision as far as that. And as far as game plan, we got Tyrell Terry, Kevin Porter Jr., DeAndre Hunter, Mobley, and Adebayo. I really like that. Kenyon Martin, Cam Thomas, Westry, Sissoko, Shareek O'Neal. Alex Antetokounmpo slowly falling out of the lineup. Not really that mad about it. He wasn't all that great. Mobley will be our first scoring option, then Kevin Porter Jr., and we're actually going to get to the basket this year. We tried feed the post. It didn't really work. So, yeah, system proficiency, 4-star perimeter centric. That's what we're going to go with. So, yeah, I like Mobley at the 4. I feel like he could play the 4. I feel like if this is answering any questions, Christian Wood and Mobley probably can't play next to each other. I feel like they play too similar. You need to have one guy be a dominant down low big, and the other guy kind of space the floor a little bit. And Mobley's not really big enough yet. He's a better rim protector, but he's not big enough to guard those bigs down low. So we'll see you guys at the end of this season. I'm hoping this is finally the season we make the playoffs. This might be the second to last year. We'll see. But, yeah, the championship so far is looking bleak in this rebuild. Okay, I don't know what the rest of the Western Conference looks like, but we finally finished with a positive record, 45-37. I think we finally did it. We made the playoffs. Killian Hayes, I hope. Yeah, but we finally made the playoffs. I don't know if we'll have anybody on any of the NBA teams. Killian, oh God. Cade, yeah. Mobley finally makes an All-NBA team as All-NBA first team, or All-NBA third team. Let's just look at his stats. He averaged close to 20 and 10 this year. He finally played the 4. He's shooting around 35% from 3, which is pretty decent, especially for a big man. But all defensive teams, Dior Johnson, that pick just keeps on ended up biting me in the butt. And, yeah, but besides that, obviously we have no rookies, but James Bouknight just has been sitting on the bench for 3 years. Okay, we finally make it as the 5th seed. We're playing the Phoenix Suns. In the playoffs, they have Justin Robinson, never heard of, Tyrese Halliburton, obviously, Denard Torres, Jaden McDaniels, DeAndre Ayton, Mo Bamba, Jackson Hayes. Do you guys see how many centers are on this team? Off their bench, okay, so here's their starting lineup, normal. 1 center, 2 centers, 3 centers, 4 centers, 5 centers, 6 centers. So, yeah, their bench is 6 centers. I hope that we're a better team than them and win a playoff series. But 2K likes height, like we learned from my Pistons rebuild when I finally traded for Jackson Hayes and moved Stewart to the 4. But I thought I was a pretty tall-ass team. So if this Suns team ends up winning the finals, which they don't, it's actually the Magic with Shamor Pons, who I think I've heard of. I think that might be actually a real player. But we finally didn't make the draft lottery for the first time. Big steps. This will probably be the final year of the rebuild. just to show you guys what this team's capable of. I feel like the Rockets are definitely more of a long-term rebuild than the Pistons. The Rockets do have 3 first-round picks, though, in this upcoming year's draft. So I feel like that might really make a difference. But as far as staff signings, we're going to continue with our head coach that we've had for forever. We're going to get a new trainer because there's one with A training instead of an A-. Assistant coaches. We're going to try this guy to be an assistant coach. Stauffer resigns, and I was rejected by 2 other people. So, yeah. So we miss out on getting 3 training camps now. And as far as assistant coaches, we're actually going to give Dwight Howard a shot here. So, yeah, we'll see. This is definitely the best this team has looked so far. I don't know who I'm going to take in this year's draft or if I even have a pick. So let me sim to where my pick is. I have pick 15. This pick could actually help our team. Don't really have a point guard, so we're going to take Howie McLeod. You know what? So, yeah, sure. Then we don't have a second, which is perfectly fine to me. Any really good players in this draft? Let's see what our boy Howie McLeod was. Is a 72. So, yep, another mistake is me drafting bad players, team options. Yeah, we're going to bring everybody back. I've really liked what Sissoko can do, and Chance Westry has actually been playing pretty well. So I know D.R. Johnson's an 86, and I wish I had him, but I do not. So we're going to offer the qualifying offer to both these guys. Already moved on from Duke. So, yeah. As far as our guys being available, we're obviously going to offer a max contract to Mobley and Cam Thomas. I don't really feel comfortable giving him that much, but this is the last year of this rebuild. So we'll see if they accept it. They're probably going to end up accepting these qualifying player offers. That's going to be crazy that how this draft class is qualifying offer, if they decide to accept it, which no rookie has ever done, is actually a $17 million contract and a $6 million to Cameron Thomas, which I'm not angry about. But, yeah, so that's our team. We're going to basically run it back like we did last year, but just hopefully with better development because our team is pretty young. So, yeah, player progression. Mobley did change his position. He got better, but Bam continues to get better. Porter or DeAndre Hunter got better. You might see me make a big trade around halfway through the season to make a really big upgrade, but keep auto-generating the rookies. We're going to do actually perimeter defense on Mobley, believe it or not. That's kind of a weird one. We're going to go combo guard to Kevin Porter Jr. just because there's no point. And then perimeter. No camps. I forgot. We lost our guy that gave us 3 training camps. So moving into this final season of this rebuild, Tyrell Terry out of 81, Porter Jr., DeAndre Hunter, Mobley, Abayo, Kenyon Martin Jr., Chance Westry. So yeah, I really like this team. I might try to package like Shareek O'Neal and Alex Antetokounmpo to see if I can get like somebody that can really make a huge impact on this team this year. And let's actually try to cheese it a little bit, and I'll give him an unprotected first-round pick. See if I can get anybody like insanely good. Not really a whole lot here. So you know what? This is the team that I built, and I'm happy with this team. I made one huge trade in this video. So this will be the team. Maybe we can make it to the NBA Finals like I won last year in my Pistons rebuild, but I doubt it. I'd just be really happy with a playoff victory or a playoff series win at this point. So I'm making the big run for the championship this year, considering this is the last year of this rebuild. So I'm trading a first-round pick, Tyrell Terry, and Kenyon Martin Jr., basically our 6-man, our starting point guard, for Shamorie Ponds, who is the he was the MVP of the finals. He won that, and then Grayson Allen, who cares? Yeah, so I'm making that trade. Bring Shamorie Ponds in. After that, I don't really need Grayson Allen and Alex Antetokounmpo. Cannot be traded within 60 days. Okay, so Alex Antetokounmpo and maybe Shareek O'Neal. See if we can package them to get another really nice piece. I already looked for them once. Pablo Banchero, I really like. Victor Oladipo. I'm trying to see if I can get more than one really good guy. If not, Tillman, I like. But actually, yeah, I'm going to say screw it, and I'm going Pablo Banchero. We'll have Grayson Allen take over the Shareek O'Neal minutes. He's not drastically better or worse. Maybe a better shooter. And Caleb Martin, he's not going to play. But Pablo Banchero, I'm going to bring in to play some key minutes in this rest of this rebuild. This is the last season of it, which I'm kind of sad about now because I actually love the team that we've put together. But yeah, Pablo Banchero playing around 27, Cam Westry, Cameron Thomas, Matty Sissoko giving you your backup big minutes, and Grayson Allen doing what he can occasionally. I'm gonna up the minutes. Kevin Porter Jr., Shamori Pons. This is if this is the team that's gonna do it, this is the team. I'm really happy with this team. So yeah, we still have some key guys here like Mobley and Porter Jr. and Westery and Thomas and Sissoko, but bringing in guys like Pablo Banchero, Bam Adebayo, DeAndre Hunter, Shamori Pons, where did St. John's? That's where I freed Shamori Pons from. I knew he was a real player. Okay, so let's see what the rest of the season looks like. We're only 4 games above 500, and that wasn't good enough for me. So let's see what we can do with the rest of the season. 4 games above 500 at the trade deadline. We are now 10 games above 500. I feel like we've improved drastically from those trades, but I guess we will find out. As far as people making all NBA teams, we did not get any. We did not get Evan Mobley to make it this year. Dior Johnson continues to be a mistake that I made that really just teased me off. Cade making all defensive team. As far as rookies, I doubt ours makes it. I don't even think he played. So yeah, we're the 6th seed going against the Los Angeles Clippers. I don't think this team's gonna look anything like what the Clippers do now. Ty Jerome, Devin Booker, Cam Reddish, Pascal Siakam. Wow, Scotty Barnes, Anunoby, Johnny Juzang. Yeah, this is gonna be a tough series. I'm gonna try hard a little bit here and mess with some defensive settings. No, actually, you know what? I'm not. Let's just mess with the rotation. If I win, I win. I lose, I lose. We might actually cut Grayson Allen out of the rotation. We're gonna actually, we're gonna fix it manually. Okay. Well, we're gonna cut him out of the rotation completely, and let's see what the CPU puts it at first. So we're gonna completely cut Grayson Allen out and see what we can do winning this series. Cam Westry. This is the guys that have to carry us. I don't know how we're doing this poorly. Westery, we're actually going to down his minutes. Cam Thomas, we're going to keep them both at 17. We're going to actually go all 3 guys at 17, and we're going to up both these guys' minutes by 2. I don't know how Kevin Porter Jr. hasn't been better. I don't know how DeAndre Hunter hasn't been a little bit better, but the 3 of Mobley, Adebayo, and Banchero is awesome. And then, as you can see, Mobley was 17. We have really good spread out scoring. I just wish we had one guy who was just putting up at least 20, 25. I feel like that's the biggest problem. Is I don't know if Mobley will ever be a 25 point per game scorer. I just thought Kevin Porter Jr. might progress a little bit better. So we're in our final series. You guys saw what their team looked like. We lose in 5. So that's basically the gist of this Houston Rockets rebuild. We just made it to the playoffs finally in the last 2 years. I see this team being promising. I made some really big trades at trade deadlines to try to make something better out of it. I think they have a lot more first-round picks in real life that could actually play out. But as far as this rebuild, they never really panned out for me with any of the extra ones like the Nets and stuff like that. So it never really panned out. But you know what? I really enjoyed this rebuild with this Houston Rockets team. Yeah, I can't really show you guys the roster at the end of it, but actually, yeah, I can. We've ended with Mobley being a 91 overall. I feel like he's a really good fit for them at 2. I considered taking Suggs, but Adebayo, who was an awesome trade for us, Shamori Pons, which was a nice pickup halfway through that year, Kevin Porter Jr. really didn't progress the way I thought to. Got Pablo Banchero really nice. Probably should have ended up taking Dior Johnson instead of Cam Westry. This is my first time using this draft class, so I guess I'll know moving forward. But yeah, Cam Thomas, Matty Sissoko, Michigan State guy. But yeah, comment which rebuild you want me to do next. I think my next one's probably going to end up being the Cavaliers, where I trade Colin Sexton and take Jalen Green or Jalen Suggs. It's going to be one of the 2 Jalen's. So unless they go 1 and 2, weirdly, K didn't go number 1 in this one. So Cavaliers will be next. I think you could probably see that either on Friday, maybe tomorrow even. So if you like this one, give it enough traction, I might be enticed to come and give you that Cavaliers one sooner than later. Peace.